2016, I was on fire. As in, when I say fire, when I get into my home and I come close to my dining or my kitchen, you see these two places? So, yeah. If I get in and I see maybe messed up, somebody ate and dropped me, oh, trouble. There's nothing I won't see. It's not, and it won't end in saying, no, I will flog hell out of the person who did that. I was living that life. Sometimes I'll finish beating a child and I'll be panting. And then I'll hear my husband say, baby, why are you doing this to yourself? You know, I'm not joking though. That was the life I lived before 2016. Good morning. And how are you doing today? My name is Charity Babuchi. For those following me or listening to me for the first time, I am a parent coach. I want to thank everyone who has followed me all this while, subscribed to my channels, liked my videos, commented. May the good Lord bless you. Today, I want us to look at very important topic, a topic that in the past few weeks I've received counseling issues on. And what is this topic? Parenting with calm. What does it mean to parent with calm? It means being calm, being patient, being able to manage your emotions even in challenging situations. Yes. I said to someone recently, I said we already live in a hurting world. We already live in a challenging time. So you should be able as a parent to parent with calmness. You should be able to parent with patience, being able to manage your emotions even when the situation at hand is terrifying, even when the situation at hand is alarming. When you parent with calm, you are composed. I watched a clip yesterday of a class teacher, I think in the UK or in the US, and a child, one of the students in the class threw a pair of shoes on her. And I watched how this class teacher, a lady, remained composed, calm, patient. She handled the situation so well. And I said to myself, this one will be a parent who understands what it means to parent with calm. Your children are going to make you go gaga. Recently, someone sent me a message to say, I am losing it, blah, 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 blah. And I understand exactly where she's coming from. But you know what? If we are able to arm ourselves, if we are able to understand what it means to parent with calmness, what it means to be composed, what it means to be in charge of your emotions, I'm telling you, your children will not get you worked up. I've seen a lot of parents come to me and they say, this child is getting me worked up, this boy is getting me worked up, blah, 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 blah. That's because somehow we have not understood what it means to parent with calmness. So let's look at all of this. You need to learn how to manage your emotions. You don't know how to manage your emotions, your children will drive you nuts. They will drive you crazy. They will do a lot of things, especially if you have teenage children. Let me not even go there. Whether it's a toddler you are parenting, whether it's a teenager, preteens, anyone you are parenting, as long as you are a parent, you should learn how to manage your emotions. When I came into this part of the country newly, I noticed a woman in my compound who will wake up every morning with abuses on her children, with curses. Because when you say abuses, it will look so simple. No, with curses. Curses like you are a useless child, you will not be meaningful in life. So many curses. One day I became so angry, I went to her, I said, why all of this? Then, madam, don't pray to have this kind of my child. Pray to have. So sometimes we wish to have the children we don't have. Start with the child that you have. So I knew her problem. I said, madam, yes, I shouldn't wish to have your kind of children. And now you are wishing to have my own kind of children. Do you know the work I have put in? I said to her, parenting is just about you first. It's about you first, man. I said, you need to manage your emotions. I said, you can't wake up every morning and you are laying curses. When I say curses, I mean heavy curses on your children. Even if my words didn't make any meaning that time, until I left that vicinity, it was her normal morning routine. And I'm wondering how these children will turn out. These are children who will grow up tomorrow and become robbers, become, useless on the street because one woman who is their mother, who is supposed to be a covering over them, has become a thorn in their flesh, laying curses on them on a daily basis. I want to plead with us mothers, we need to learn how to manage our emotions, so that we're able to parent our children well. So let's look at some characteristics of, parenting with calmness. The first thing is the emotional regulation. As a parent, you must be able to manage your emotions and remain calm and composed, even amidst challenging issues. Okay, so a woman one day came to me, ranting. They just called her in school that her child stole somebody's biro. This is not the first time it's happening. What does she not provide for this child? Blah, 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 blah. She said a lot of things. I said, can you calm down, ma? Just calm down. You've not even heard from your daughter and you're already concluding. And no, because this is not the first time she's doing it, blah, 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 blah. I said, manage your emotions first. So one of the characteristics of a parent who understands parenting with calmness is that parent have emotional regulation. You're able to regulate your emotions. You're able to stay comported. You're able to stay composed, even in that seemingly not palatable conditions and situations and happenings. Something happened to me Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Like I said to someone, my peace was not tampered once. Not a minute. I remained calm. People saw me functioning well. You can't even tell that anything has happened except for those who are so close to me, who understood what has happened. My peace was intact. I understand what it means to handle and manage my emotions instead of shouting everywhere. You boy, no, you don't need that. So one of the characteristics of parenting with calm is that you must be able to do what? Manage your emotions, no matter how hard the situation is. Number two is patience. Taking time to listen, to understand, and to respond thoughtfully. Taking time to do what? To listen, to understand, and to respond thoughtfully. Most parents are not patient at all. As you are saying it, they are picking it already. No, listen. We are not, active listeners. We are so passive. We listen to judge. A lot of parents listen to judge. So when you are even talking, they are looking for a point of judgment. No, you can't be listening to judge your child. I've counseled children and the only thing you hear from them is anytime she hears anything about me, she just judges me. No, you don't listen to judge. You listen to do what? Listen attentively and respond thoughtfully. So patience is a virtue that every parent needs. If you must parent with calm, you need the virtue called patience. And that is taking your time to listen to your children or listen to anyone before you make any judgment, before you make conclusions. Some parents are too quick, even with their spouses. As your spouse is saying it, you are picking it. I know you won't even allow them to land. You already know where they are heading to. When I hear parents say, no, stop, I know where you are going to. I say, no, you don't know. Why not calm down, listen, pay attention? Patience is a virtue that is highly needed at this time if we must parent with calm. The third one is empathy, understanding and validating your child's feeling. I see a lot of parents. Someone was talking to me. We were doing a book review last week, Thursday. We were reviewing how you act the way you do. So one of the women in the group that was reviewing said something, said she can now see herself. Sometimes we think our children just do these things. Most times, some of those things our children do are things we did when we were much younger. I tell you, they were the things we did when we were much younger. If only you will have empathy. Wear their shoes. Put them in your shoes. Sometimes I look at my daughter and I ask myself, while I was growing up, do I have all of this to contend with? No. So don't say, during my time, I didn't do this, blah, blah. During your time is not during their time. In this time and age, our children have so much to contend with. In our time, when I was growing up, there was no so much, in quotes, to contend with. But in their time and days, so much, I will say again and again, when I was growing up, the TV stations don't come up until 4 p.m. You hear ta-ra, ra, 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 ra. These days, our children are contented. You have this to contend with it because it's on 24/7. In fact, if there is anything more than 24/7, the TV stations are on for those numbers of time. So tell me, your child has this to contend with, and you're saying during my time. So sorry, this is not during your time. This is their own time. So you must wear their shoes and see where it is paining them. We must begin to parent from the place of empathy. Empathy. Wear their shoes. Put yourself in their shoes. Tell yourself the truth. Sometimes parents don't tell themselves the truth. A parent was telling me recently, he said, Kai, I can see how scattered I was when I was much younger. This is exactly what I was doing. Even if it's in a refined way. That's the same thing. She came with this, my daughter will finish eating and put her plates in her room for days, blah, 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 blah. I said, think back, man. I don't do that all the time, but you did it. Your own may not be all the time, but you even did it. We must understand our children. We must understand what is you're contending with them at the moment. So you need to understand and validate the feelings of your children. Number 4, positive communication. Using calm, respectful, and positive languages on your children. We are too quick to condemn them. Your child makes a single mistake, you're already shouting, are you a fool? Can't you see that this will not work? No. As parents, there are some words that shouldn't be found in our dictionary. As a parent who wants to parent with calm, there are some words that should be out of our dictionary. Calling your children silly. I counseled a child recently and she said, my mother used to say I'm silly. My mother used to say I'm this. My mother used to use so many negative words that are already forming in the lives of this child. A 10-year-old girl that I was counseling one day, she said she's not beautiful like her sister. So I said, who says that to you? She said she knows. So I took my phone, I snapped her and I said, you are a beautiful young lady. I said, look at your pointed nose. Look at how beautiful you are. She said, no, that she's not beautiful. So I said, okay, no problem. I took the mirror. I go about with mirror in my bag because I'm a counselor. I showed her the mirror. I said, look at this pretty lady I'm seeing. She said, she's not. So I knew something was wrong somewhere. So I asked her, I said, what do people say to you? And she said, my mom will always tell me that I'm not as beautiful as my sister. You see where it started from? The mom will always say to her that she is not as beautiful as her sister. Come on, mothers, let's wake up. Let's wake up and do well. How will you look at your daughter and say you are not as beautiful as the first one? Must they be, is it competition? These are unhealthy competition. This girl will grow up and you begin to have hatred for her elder sister. Already the hatred is there. Then my sister don't like me. I don't also like her. This is a child between 10 and 11 already going through this because one mother somewhere has said it to her repeatedly, conditioning her mind that she is not as beautiful as her daughter. No matter what that girl has done. Another story is a young girl, lady who, of course, she's the first child, but then her parents are not together. So her mother remarried. And then, of course, maybe the man allowed her to come into the house. The new husband allowed her to bring her daughter into the house. But there's this so much comparison between her, the first daughter that she had for the ex-husband, and the children of this one. And so how healthy do you want this girl to be? We need to begin to watch our words, our languages, what we say to our children, because whether you want to believe it or not, this will begin to condition your children. They will begin to grow up and live with those things that we have said. You see, what shapes? The words we say to them shapes them. The words we say to them matter so much in shaping our children. So we need to be aware of this. And lastly on this is mindfulness, being present and being engaged with your child. Remember, we're looking at the characteristics of a parent who parents with calmness. You need to be mindful. You need to be present. Some of us are present, but we're not present. We're in the house. So, hey, I remember counseling a child last 2 terms ago or so. And this child said to me, very, very wonderful thing. He said, we don't have physical communications in our home. So I became interested. I said, really? So what do you have in your home? He said everybody has a phone, including him. He was in just one when I met him. And so apparently between 9 and 11. And he said to me, once my parents leave home, they send us messages on the platform. Then we have a platform where, okay, so this person, you do this is. So I said, how early does your parents leave home? He said, my father leaves at 5:30 to 6. My mom leaves at around 6:30. I said, so nobody has any physical communication with you? He said, no, once they go out, then when they have gotten to work, they send message, you do this, you do this. Wow. That's a very serious one. I said, what happens during the weekend? They also work during the weekend. So it is the same pattern from Monday to Sunday. No physical communication in the house. So for these parents, they are present because children sees them. I said, so what time do they get back home? He said, sometimes they get back, like my father gets back 8, my mom gets back earlier. But once they get back, they said they are tired and all of that. These parents are present, but they are not present. They are there, but they are not there. We need to be present for our children. We need to engage meaningfully. I've said it time and again. Ensure that no day passes without meaningful engagement with your children. I ensure that something is linking me to my children on a daily basis. As we are driving to school, we are having discussions. As we are driving back, we are having discussions. We get home. You see, this holiday has been planned. Oh yes, this holiday has been planned. Well planned for what we'll be doing on Monday, what we'll be doing on Tuesday before we resume back to school on Wednesday. Fully planned. So there's no time to waste. Meaningful engagement with our children will help us so well. And so let's look at the benefits of, parenting with calm. The first thing is it will reduce your stress and anxiety level. When you parent with calm, let me share my life story a bit. Before 2016, I was on fire. As in when I say fire, when I get into my home and I come close to my dining or my kitchen, you see these two places? I can withstand anything in my sitting room. I can withstand anything in my bedroom. But you see my dining area and my kitchen, these two. If I get in and I see maybe messed up, somebody ate and dropped, trouble. There's nothing I won't see. It's not, and it won't end in saying, no, I will flog hell out of the person who did that. I was living that life. Sometimes I'll finish beating a child and I'll be panting. And then I'll hear my husband saying, baby, why are you doing this to yourself? I'm not joking though. That was the life I lived before 2016. I was living that life. When I beat with the whole of my strength, the whole of my mind. In fact, I beat with my spirit, soul, and body. Let me use that word. I beat with my spirit, soul, and body. And when I'm done doing this, oh God, for the next 10, 15, 20 minutes, I'll sit and I'm panting. And so I attended a course by Onyeko Isola, the emotional doctor. It was a 5-day course that started on a Monday and was going to end on Friday on emotional intelligence. Guys, only one day. The first day, I sat in that class from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. and I was asking myself a lot of questions. I saw myself presented to me like this on a plain paper, on a mirror. I saw myself. And after that class, I took a decision. Never in my life. She said to us, if you know your triggers, avoid it. My trigger was my dining area and my kitchen. So that Monday, I came into my house, came to the dining, saw what I saw. I didn't say anything. Entered into the kitchen, saw. My children were amiss. For the first time, this woman came into the house. No shouting. I went straight to my room, took up my clothes, rested, went through my note again. I didn't say a word to anybody. I was sure that, in my children's heart that day, hey, what's happening here? The second day I went for my course. That's how my life took a turn, as in 360-degree turnaround. For the sake of your mental health, you need sanity. You need to parent with calm. So it will reduce so much stress and anxiety. It will improve number 2 point is that it will improve your relationship and communication with your children. When you parent with calm, they understand. As I was just coming down to make this video, my daughter said to me, remember what I've said to you, that I will do a YouTube video and I will do this, that. I said, no problem. Wish granted. Improve relationship. There's nothing she can't say to me. There's nothing. There's written nothing my daughter or my sons cannot say to me. I have a very good relationship with them. I was sharing with somebody, a counselor that I needed my son to go through. And so I was sharing with her, I said to her, my first son, going to be 22, have a very good relationship with me. There is nothing he does not say to me. And after their counseling section, she called me to say, everything you said about your son is true. That's what she said. She called me. She said, everything you said about your son is what true. We have good relationship. There's nothing he doesn't say to me. You need to get to that level where your children can share anything, I mean anything, with you. It will increase your emotional intelligence and self-regulation. Period. This one does not need dogon turenchi. It doesn't need it. When you are able to parent with calm, it will increase your your intelligence emotionally will just go on high. And then you are able to self-regulate yourself. And then you will have better behavior and discipline. Better behavior and discipline even with the approach. You will look at your children and you are, oh no, this one's well-disciplined, well-behaved. Not because you are looking for perfect. You know, it's not about having a perfect child. Let me talk to us parents right now. Don't think parenting is about having a perfect child. It's not about having a perfect child. It's about having a child who can come to you on a daily basis. It's about having a child who is well-behaved. It's not about perfection, no. Live about perfection. No child is perfect. No parent is perfect. No one is even perfect. Yes, we are working towards perfection. We are aiming towards perfection because we are following at the footsteps of our Father and Savior Jesus Christ. But parenting is not about perfection. And lastly, it will give you a more peaceful and supportive home environment. Your home will be peaceful. You come into the house, you are glad to even, I'm happy anytime I know it's time to come home. I am happy anytime I know it is time to come home. You see my husband call, where are you guys? He wants to come into a peaceful home. I can't remember any day my husband will not call to say, where are you guys? I'm almost approaching home. Why? Because he wants to come into a home. I don't just want to come into the house and meet. I want to see my wife and see my children. Why? A peaceful environment. I want to urge us parents to begin to parent with calm. Don't let your children label you. You know, a child had an issue one day with result and called my son and said, I don't know how to present this to my parents. Can your mom help me talk to my mom? You know, that for me was a plot. And my son said, no problem. Called me up. Papa. I said, no problem. Send the mother's number. And I spoke to the mom. Let your children be able to confide in you. Make your home so peaceful that these children, no matter where they are, they want to come back home. A lot of children don't want to come back home. A lot of children don't want to go home. Those in boarding school want to remain there. Those in the university don't want to go. They don't want anything to bring them back home. That's wrong. Let your children, no matter where they are, feel home, want to be at home. Let your spouse, no matter where he is, want to come back home. I want to believe that these little words of mine this morning has, made sense to you and has given you an insight on how to begin to parent with calm. I want you to put under the comment section what you have learned, how you will go about what you have learned. Please do not forget to subscribe. Do not forget to like and comment under this video. Thank you for your time and have a beautiful day. Bye for now.